Hey chickies, going to try and do a chevron mani. I don't do them very often because I find them a little difficult, but I'm going to try and do one in front of you, so that's going to be fun. I've already base coated with my jewellery, and I've also done 2 coats of Sally Hansen white on, my go-to white at the moment. I've also put on one very thin coat, as thin as I could, of Seche Vite. So they're super shiny. You can probably see I've done absolutely no cleanup behind my, or sort of around this area at all yet. Just don't think there's any point just yet, but we'll be doing that later. So you'll also need a cleanup brush, and you also need some tape. I've got this tape. It's really, really good. I got it online. I'll see if I can find the website I got it from. It's an Australian website, but it's a much less likely to pull the polish up off your nail, even though by putting Seche Vite on actually makes that less likely to happen. It is actually a much more gentle tape than some others I've used. I'm also going to use these colours. I'm going to use Orly. This is from the new MASH collection. It's called Choreographed Chaos. It's one of my favourite from that collection because it does glow under my black light. So I'm going to be using that. Also going to be using an Art Deco LA Colours, sort of like an aqua blue colour, and that's in a striping bottle. And also going to use a Kiss Paint striper in black. And I was thinking of using the silver, but I'm not sure if I'm going to yet, but we'll wait and see. So that's just a Kiss Paint striper polish in silver. Okay, so I'll be back in a tick. Okay, so I'm back. I've done the index finger, as you can see. Yes, I still have last week's nail polish on the other hand. So I've done the index finger, and I'm going to do the ring finger in a moment. I just want to show you how I taped. I wanted to do the first one off camera because I don't do these very often, and they can be really, really fiddly. You've got to get the tape really close to sort of around your cuticle, and that can be really difficult sometimes. And it's one of the little things that I've learnt to do is to try and use, because you don't want to dent your polish, but try and get, yeah, and I've put cuticle oil around my cuticles again because I can't help myself. Try and get like a small dotting tool or something, just something small, just to try and get it to stick down in there, in where your sort of cuticle meets your sort of the side of your finger meets your skin. So only because you really want that to stick down. I mean, you can always fix it. There's nothing that's not fixable, if it bleeds. But geez, it's just so annoying when it does, and having to make that, fix that up later is just a pain. So anyway, this is, I hope you can see. Yep, I'm going to sort of give it some really good coverage. Gosh, this is a pretty pink, isn't it? Some really good coverage, trying really hard. Like, it doesn't matter if you get it on your skin, you can always get rid of that. That's easy to get rid of. It's just being able to get some good coverage really quickly, because you don't want any of it to dry before you take the tape off. So cap the free edge, that's what they call that, the professionals do. I've seen them call that one. Use that term a lot. Okay, so when you're taking your tape off, I hope I'm not going to get in your way. Maybe I'll get my tweezers because that might make it a little bit easier, just so I can show you. So when you, oh shoot, I've gone and ruined the other one. Anyway, so try and take it up and then back rather than going forwards, because then you might, and you can see it's bled a little bit here, but we can fix that just by using a white striper and going through with that. But you can see what I've done to my index finger here. I'm going to have to completely fix that. Although I can probably fix that pretty quickly and easily just by, well, there's a little trick. And I know it sounds disgusting, but if you put some, oh God, that's so disgusting. You can even lick it. I know that sounds really awful, but that's just something I've heard, and I know people who do it. You can actually lick your finger when the polish is not, look, see that? Do you see that? That's not terrible. And I can fix that with Seche Vite too, like anything else. Oh, gone and done it again. Anyway, goodness gracious me. See, I'm not a professional. Anyway, so there you go. I'm going to go and do the rest of them, then I'll come back with the next step. Okay, I'm back. Now, what I've done is use this LA Colours Art Deco Aqua Blue, and I've used that to stripe around the initial chevrons that we made with the tapes. Now what I'm going to do, and you can see that I've already started using the Kiss Nail Paint Striper in black. This has got a really good brush. It's really tiny, and you can make some really good thin lines. I just want to show you that. Oh, there you go. It's really, really tiny, really thin. Now, one of the little things about these, especially the Kiss Nail Art ones, and a lot of striper brushes, you shake the bottle up, because that's what you're supposed to do, shake the bottle up with any bottle of polish. But sometimes, well, pretty much all the time, if you just take it out and start using it, you'll notice that the polish runs down. So I can get a better view of that. You can see like a big globule of thing running down the brush, and you don't want that to happen while you're doing your striping, because you'll get a big shock, get a great big amount. So make sure you try and wipe off the wand of the polish brush onto the side of the bottle first, and that way you won't have that problem. And that way you just dip the brush into the polish itself. Now, when using a striping brush, even just a freehand striping brush that doesn't come out of a polish bottle, and this is with any paint, just so that you can get a clean line, move your finger and not the brush. So the brush is just sitting still, basically. And that's the best tip, one of the best tips I've ever learnt doing this, because otherwise you'll just end up with non-straight lines. And it even works when you're doing like a line like this. Like it works for crisscross, it works for not up and down really, but I suppose it would work. Just make those two join up a little bit better. I'm going to make that stripe a little bit thicker. But you see how thin you can make the lines with these particular polished bottles, polished striper brushes. I got mine from Kmart, I believe, and you can get them online. Kiss Nail Art products are available everywhere. They're very expensive here in Australia, which is annoying. Oh, poo. Which is annoying. I can fix that. Okay, so we'll do another one, and then actually I showed you that. I'll finish these up off camera, and then I'll come back and show you how I fix up messes, because that's fun. Okay, I'm back again. So you can see I'm just using the aqua again with the striper brush, and I'm going into my index finger and just sort of tidying up where I kind of stuffed up a little bit. And this is, you can pretty much clean up any mess. You really can, just with a little bit of patience and imagination. And you can see that I even put like blue into the pink, so you've got to decide whether you're going to make the black stripe a little bit thicker, or you can just go in with some more of the pink over that, because no matter what you do, I really believe that you can actually fix any mess that you make without having to start all over again. Now, I got this tiny little brush from an art supply store here in Australia. It's really cheap. It was like $2 or something. It was really, really cheap. And because I don't use my really good brushes with nail polish, I only use those with acrylic paints and things like that I can wash off with water. But I know that I need to clean up some of the pink, but I'm not going to use a big a big brush that comes with the polish itself. So I'm going to use this tiny weeny little one, and I've just sort of brushed some of the pink polish onto that brush, and it might take a couple of goes over to get rid of that blue, because the blue is really bright. But it is possible, and once you put the Seche Vito over it, you can hardly even tell. And even if you just sort of dab it really gently, you couldn't do this with the actual brush that comes with the polish, because it's just too big and cumbersome. But that doesn't look too bad. I'm getting there. A couple more goes of that, and I would have cleaned that up completely. I already cleaned up the very end, because I stuffed that up too. I just put some more pink polish over the top. You can just build it up like that, and you can hardly even tell that there was even a mistake. And you can see that I've got a little bit of black there, so on my ring finger. So I'll just do the same thing there, just to hide the imperfections. See, I'm really a fraud. These sorts of things happen to me all the time, and I just fix them. Not that I don't like painting my nails, I just don't want to do it over and over again, the same design, if I don't have to. And then I'll just put a coat of Seche Vite over the top, and I'll come back and show you. You can tell me what you think. I might do a little bit more clean up before I come back too. Plus, I need to do clean up around my cuticles and stuff like that, because that's just, totally not photo worthy right now. So I'll be back again soon. Okay, chickies, I'm back, and I've Seche Vite'd and cleaned up and all ready for a photo. I also wanted to show you something really special, something I'm becoming known for, and that is my black light. And I actually test every bottle that comes into my house of polish to see if it's going to glow. So I'm just going to turn the light off. Ooh. And then turn this around. And remember I said to you before that the Orly polish Choreographed Chaos glows under my black light, and you can see, I hope you can see it, it's glowing like a champion. Beautiful. So yeah, don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you like the video. If it's too long, let me know. I'm going to try and cut them down and stop rambling on. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook, all under the same name, Oh My Gosh Polish. And thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.